Good morning, you're watching the Wake Up Call. I'm Ken McKim with your Techbytes update. So I've been carrying around an iPad 4 for about a week now, and I have to tell you I am really excited about it. I am blown away by how responsive it is, how fast it launches apps, web pages, everything. The Retina display is everything it was hyped to be. And the one thing that I was really curious about, though, was that I love my Nook, and I read a lot, and I read magazines, which is why I got a first-generation Nook Color, because an e-ink reader is not going to do a magazine justice when it comes to pictures, color, all that good stuff. So I've loved it. I've used it for watching Netflix movies on. It's great for that. It's a good size, you know, for... Everyone says for one-handed operation, and I've never actually just held it with one hand. I mean, I read, and this is what I do. Just like this. Here you go. Yeah. So, anyway. So I was really curious, though, if there were going to be any differences in my magazine experience between this and the iPad 4. You know, Nook app on both of them. But were there going to be any dramatic differences in how they were rendered? And this is what I found. So take a look, and I'll see you on the other side of the video. Okay, so I've been using the iPad 4 now for just under a week, I guess, almost just under a week. And the one thing that I wanted to talk about, because it's near and dear to my heart, of course, is the reading magazines on this as compared to my original Nook Color. I got the Nook Color because I love magazines, and it seemed ridiculous to me to get an e-ink only reader that would not be able to faithfully render the beautiful colors that you find in a magazine. So I got the Nook Color, and I've loved it. It's great. So it's a bit slow. So yeah, so there's Esquire magazine. Let's open the Nook on here, and we'll go to the cover. So there are the covers, and obviously, besides the bigger screen size, you can see that the Nook screen does not video well compared to the iPad screen. Look at all those lines. But the one thing I want to show you here is the fact that throughout the Nook app, and throughout the magazine, at least Esquire anyway, they've packed a lot of interactive content into their magazine on the Nook version than they have on the iPad version of their magazine. I'm not sure why they did it. Maybe it's because they're dealing with limited screen size. That's probably it. But like, for example, there's a nifty little thing here. It says tap to play cover video. Now, I'm not going to do that because I am apparently missing some sort of software on my Nook, because when I tap that to play it, it just says video is not supported. There's another little button here, though. Ooh, look. So that's fun. Okay. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, that's cool. I like that. The iPad version is really just a faithful digital rendering of the paper cover. There's no little interactive elements to push anywhere in here. Picture looks amazing, though, and it's large, which is great. I love that. But that being said, it's kind of fun to be able to push buttons and see things happen. I mean, that's why those of us who love technology love technology. We like being able to do that. So, and that's really the difference I'm noticing. And also, there seems to be more ads. Look at all those ads. Okay, look, watch this. So here's the cover. Swipe, and it takes you to another story immediately. The iPad version of Esquire, swipe, and add. Maybe an ad? Yes, it's an ad. And more ads. And more. Look at all the ads. Holy crap. So there you go. Then you get to the contents page. The first swipe to your right in the Nook, and you're onto more content. So let's try to find this on the iPad version. Aha, here it is. So you'll see on the iPad version that the content for this article is right there in a sidebar that's just there. You don't have to do anything. Or alternately, you have the article view button. Press that. And then it just pops up with the pertinent text that you would want to read. So you don't have to do the pinch and zoom thing if you don't want to. Here, you can still see the same content starts at the bottom, and then you just drag it up to read it. Now that's fun. I like that. I don't begrudge having to do that to read. It's more of that interactivity. And again, that's just more exciting than just a static reproduction of the print page. So like here with the GIFs, you're talking about GIFs, and you have buttons you push, and you push the button and new things pop up. And again, you have that in the iPad version, of course, but it's just a static image. There's no interactivity to it. I mean, you've got the article view again. So I don't know. I mean, that's a personal thing. I'll probably still use my Nook color because it has fun little Easter eggs almost like this throughout. And that kind of interactivity is lacking in the iPad version of Esquire. So I don't know if Esquire will be bringing some of that to this later as they develop it further. Who knows? I do admit I appreciate the bigger screen, though. I really do. And a lot of people complain about how heavy the iPad is to hold in one hand. And my response, because I primarily read magazines on this, is that I was always using two hands to read magazines anyway. So having to use two hands to continue to read my magazines isn't that big of a deal. Some of you might be reading your magazines with just one hand, and I don't want to know what you're doing with the other hand. So let's just move on from that line of conversation. And yeah, so I mean, it's gorgeous. Really, the Retina display is everything it was hyped to be. So again, matter of personal preference, but I think, although I'll miss some of the interactivity on this, really this will be my primary magazine reading device. And yeah. So there you have it. You know, as always, this thing kind of comes down to personal preference. I really do enjoy the larger screen on the iPad for magazines. That's really the most important feature for me. I do miss the fun, I guess, of having the interactivity with the Nook version of Esquire magazine. It has all the little buttons you press and, you know, things happen. And I love that, and that's fun. But at the end of the day, the experience really is about the reading, and I think for magazines in particular, a bigger screen size is very important. So I'll stick with the iPad 4 for my magazines. If you have an iPad 3 and you're wondering, should I upgrade to the iPad 4, I will say the same thing to you that I said to owners of the iPhone 4S thinking about going to the 5. Nah, don't bother. The differences are going to be subtle enough to where it's really not worth your time or money, honestly. Now, that being said, if you're still holding on to an iPad 2 or an iPad 1, then don't walk to your favorite electronics store and get the iPad 4. You will not be sorry. You will be blown away by how much better the entire experience is. It's better hardware, better cameras, better processors, of course better display with the Retina display. Do it. Just do it. You can even stop watching this right now and go do it. I won't mind. I won't be offended. It's okay. If you're thinking about getting an iPad mini or an iPad 4, get the iPad 4. What are you doing? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money on that stupid marketing misstep of Apple known as the iPad mini. Don't. Just don't. Anyway, that's it. That's all we have time for Techbytes for today. But I'll be back. I look forward to seeing you then. And don't go anywhere. Wake Up Call has a lot of good stories coming right up. So thank you for watching LoadedTV.com. I'm Ken McKim for the Wake Up Call. Take care.